Guys, whoa, wait, what was going on there? What's going on, guys? So it's time for another episode of Everything is Men's Fault, even if it wasn't done by a man. Allow me to elaborate. Title of this video: Manhoodwinked, Mum 30 duped into sex by transgender man 35 with fake penis, says she'll never trust another man. Now, as far as mental gymnastics go, welcome to Cirque du Soleil. Lisa Evans has opened up on how Carlos de la Cruz claimed he was self-conscious because of burn scars and demanded romps in the dark while using a blood and flesh prosthetic. So, but just for the record, guys, just for the record, I am literally reading this word for word, except for the obvious commentary which will come in from time to time. So I don't want anyone to call me a transphobe or any of that shit. I'm just simply pointing out that the person who tricked these women in this article was not a biological man. It was a biological woman who is pre-op transgender. Just that little caveat there. Let's continue. A mum duped into sex with a trans lover who used a fake penis told her how her life was torn apart. Lisa Evans, 30, bedded Carlos de la Cruz, 35, unaware the fiend, born female, had no penis. It's a bit of an unpleasant surprise, isn't it? De la Cruz was jailed for the prosthetic attack on her and another partner. And so they should be. Lisa of Cowdenbeath in Scotland said, "I'll never trust another man again," as she opened up on the romps in the dark that left her in excruciating pain. She was convinced trans de la Cruz was a fella, as he brainwashed her by claiming he was self-conscious about his manhood after it was scalded as a kid. But in reality, he still had a woman's body and used a blood and flesh prosthetic during sex, which he demanded always occurred with the lights off. As Lisa yesterday lifted the lid on their shocking 10-month relationship, she revealed de la Cruz had an op to have his boobs removed, but tricked her into believing it was surgery for his burn scars. And she only discovered he had no penis when cops strip searched him, as his sick deceit was finally exposed. Oh, wow. The mum of one said, "When we had sex for the first time, he demanded we do it in the pitch dark. I just went with it. I was so brainwashed into believing it was because of what happened to him as a child. He told me about being embarrassed in front of kids as he got changed for PE at school. I felt so sorry for him. His stories pulled at my heartstrings. The strange thing I can't get my head around is that he pushed for it. He would act all manly and bravado about wanting to have sex." Lisa thought she'd met her dream guy when the workmates started dating in July 2016. Dream guy indeed. He claimed his chest and genitals had been severely disfigured when his mum spilled boiling water on him. The blame game is unbelievable. Lisa told how sex with him left her in agony. And I'm just going to put it out there, right? This actually really sucks for Lisa, and it's a shit go on her part. Like, she shouldn't have had to deal with it. Simple as that. But it was a biological woman that put her through it. So, you know, nothing to do with me. She revealed, "It was really painful and felt like sandpaper. It was really rough. And he was holding it, but I thought that was because of the way his injuries were, because of the scar tissue." Lisa said they tried to make it more comfortable. She added, "But it wasn't getting any easier. I would bleed really heavy afterwards, and a nurse said I had severe friction burns. I begged him to go to the doctors, but he wouldn't." She continued, It came to a point that if we were going to have sex, I would choose a night where I was off work the next day. The strange thing I can't get my head around is that he pushed for it. He would act all manly and bravado about wanting to have sex. I just had to grin and bear it. I didn't want to upset him as he was finally comfortable to be physical with me. Afterwards, I thought to myself, well, we won't be doing that often. Dela Cruz even had a double mastectomy during their relationship, but again hoodwinked his partner with a convincing story. Lisa said, I found out later he'd been wearing restrictive vests underneath his shirts the whole time. He went to Birmingham for the operation, and when I saw him 5 days later, I even saw the scars. But a mastectomy obviously didn't even enter my mind. Why would it? I thought he was a man. I thought he was getting scar tissue removed, but now I know the truth. It's just awful. He was transitioning right under my nose. We previously told how Dela Cruz of Banknock, Stirlingshire, caused physical and psychological harm, understandably, to Lisa and another woman who can't be named for legal reasons. He was jailed for 3 years after admitting the assault between 2013 and 2017. And so these should have been. The Spanish delivery driver's gender is now officially male, but he has not had full reassignment surgery. Lisa has never discovered what devious Dela Cruz used to have sex with her, but the fake manhood was described in court as a flesh and blood prosthetic. She added, our relationship was a lie. He still had a vagina. I thought he was a man. He looked like a man with his stubble and burly physique, dressed like a man and acted like a man. I just felt so unbelievably stupid. The alarm bells should have been ringing with the sex issues, but I was just so duped by his sob story and I was in love. Everything else was great in our relationship. I just ended up thinking, maybe you can't have it all. Well, that bit's true, to be fair. You can't have it all. Just not at the same time. But the cracks started to appear in January last year when his other... other victim? I'm just going to go with other victim, just to be safe. A previous partner he'd also duped into believing he had a penis, contacted cops. By this time, the couple were living in Lisa's home. She said, I drove him to the police station and sat waiting for him for 5 hours. He didn't tell me what it was about until he came out. He was laughing and saying that she'd accused him of rape and being transgender, which is exactly what happened, right? Unless it was only rape because she changed her mind after she found out he was transgender. You know, you never know with these things these days, how the allegations work. Fortunately, I haven't been falsely accused except by Kate Mulvey, that hag. But, you know, I stole her wig, so we were square. But a few months later, she dumped the sicko after he spent all their joint savings. Imagine that, a biological female spending all of the joint savings of a couple. Lisa booted him out, and when they got into a row, Dela Cruz twisted house keys against her chest. Domestic violence, again, committed by a biological woman. And yes, I know guys do this shit too, but I'm just calling out the other side that never gets called out. Unlike when men do it, which gets called out even when it didn't happen. In June last year, the truth began to emerge when the Spaniard branded himself a monster. She said, it was at this point that he would tell me he was transgender. He was saying nobody understood him, and I just came out with him with it and asked him. Then it was like a jigsaw, and it all pieced together. I was stunned, shocked, and completely betrayed. But at this point, he told me he was fully transitioned. But then a couple of days later, a letter arrived for a Miss Carlos de Cruz from a hospital. She said, although I didn't open it, I could see it was from the gynecology department. Why would he need that if he was fully transitioned? It all hit me like a ton of bricks. By this point, I was furious. She continued. He was asking me who I was going to tell, and I told him I planned on telling everyone that needed to know. For example, if he got into another relationship. That woman would have a right to know. At this point, it didn't hit home that I'd been assaulted. So she changed her mind to say she was assaulted because she found out different information. So she consented to sex. She consented to the physical intimacy with this individual. But she's changed her mind now and said that it was assault after she found out that he, she, they lied to her, depending on what your preferred gender pronoun is. The woman said not to worry, and I hadn't done anything wrong. But an officer was sent to chat to me, and when I explained about the key, oh yeah, okay, the key. Sorry, I apologize. I thought they were talking about something else. But the key thing, totally assault. They said it was assault and they would take it further. He admitted it. Lisa tracked down his ex on Facebook and messaged her. She said, she phoned me straight away and asked, can you 100% say that what he was using was attached? And it hit me that of course it wasn't. He was holding it. She was holding it. She was holding it. So basically, this chick Lisa, who got duped by this transgender man, who is still biologically a woman and transitioning to be a transgender man, Lisa is no longer going to trust men because she was lied to by a woman. Figure that out, huh? Like I said, mental gymnastics level Cirque du Soleil. And I got some interesting comments going here. By the way, guys, thank you so much for tuning in every day. I really appreciate you. If you haven't yet subscribed, I've got crazy stories like this all the time. So please hit that subscribe button and the bell to make sure that you get the daily notifications of these videos. Smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. And I'm very, very, very happy to announce that my shirt now reads Sydney instead of Yendes, which it did in previous videos before YouTube fixed the mirroring issue on YouTube Live. So even though on my screen right now I see it mirrored, I believe that it actually renders and plays back correctly, and looks now like I'm now on a different side of the car to what I usually am. But guys, hopefully, as long as YouTube doesn't revert it back, the correct format is here to stay, and it is all sorted. There was no setting for it before, so thankfully they've rectified it with a software update to the YouTube app. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to sign out now. But again, a big thank you to all of you for supporting me. And if you'd like to continue supporting me, head on over to patreon.com/SydneyMGTOW or paypal.me/SydneyMGTOW. I promise I won't buy any soy milk with it. I will catch you guys in the next video. But until then, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment after this video has been published. And I will catch you soon. Peace.